The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
The dual engine is HPC, AI, NVIDIA chips. And we've seen a big bounce this week with NVIDIA and Micron. The technology sector and the AI space in the last quarter was under a lot of short pressure. Chanos and other characters were a lot of publicity that it's a bubble.
Welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Frank Holmes. He is executive chairman of Hive Digital Technologies. And Frank, Happy New Year. Good to see you, my friend.
Happy New Year to you.
So exciting news out from the company talking about your December numbers for Hive. And even though you had obviously some cold weather in certain parts of the world, it still was another December to remember.
It was. I like that rhyme. I sound like a rapper. It was great. We demonstrated year over year, quarter over quarter, and month over month growth in what they call a difficult environment. So that is, for me, I'm very thrilled about it, and how we are able to have still top efficiency of how we're running facilities. And it's now really showing up when you have the cold weather. We also then have hot weather in Paraguay. So if you get rainy season there, then don't worry, it's going to usually be the summer and everything's going to be great in North America and in Sweden. So that works out well. But the other exciting part for us was that just before Christmas, Motley Fools Canada had done a bunch of articles, and which was we were thrilled about seeing the validation that they had that Hive, if you don't miss it, it's like a regret that you'll miss, because we have the dual engine. And that's, I think, we're demonstrating the dual engine of growth. Very exciting.
Yeah, the dual engine, obviously in the Bitcoin, but also in the computing part of it, right?
The dual engine is HPC, AI, NVIDIA chips. And we've seen a big bounce this week with NVIDIA and Micron. The technology sector and the AI space in the last quarter was under a lot of short pressure. Chanos and other characters were a lot of publicity that it's a bubble, it's a bubble, it's a bubble. And they just continue to rock them back up and demonstrate that this is a huge super cycle. And Hive is positioned with two engines for it. So we're thrilled about it.
Frank, you produced 306 Bitcoin in December, 197% increase over the same period last year, as you mentioned. Is that a combination of capacity, the machines that you use? Give me some thoughts on what led to all of this growth.
Well, the biggest thing is the growth in Paraguay, going from 6 exahash to 25. That run was a spectacular, the biggest growth in the industry in 1 year. And so I was, that really helps highlight it. But the other part was we have been upgrading and buying more efficient ASIC miners, they're called. And so they're using substantially less joules per second. And the energy consumption in Bitcoin mining around the world has dropped dramatically. If you go the last cycle, Steve, it was like 30 joules per second consumption of electricity. Well, now we're at 17, and the latest and newest and greatest chips are coming in like 11. So what is really saying is that the innovation is like Moore's law. It's making it more energy efficient for the whole world's Bitcoin operation. Those that have antiquated machines, they have to shut off and they're gone. But we just continuously keep taking a certain amount of our cash flow and upgrading our suite of chips to get that energy down.
Okay. And lastly, Frank, I just want to ask you, in the news release, you talk about adding more capacity in Paraguay, looking to add about 100 megawatts more. So tell me a little bit about the plans ahead. And that's going to be fairly quickly, right?
Yes, that this year that'll add 10 exahash. That's another 5 Bitcoin a day, or close to it. Depends on the difficulty, but it's really attractive additional cash flow to come in. At the same time, building out with Bell Canada, the data center in Manitoba, that's on full throttle to get those NVIDIA chips. Some of the team are going out to Winnipeg. Nice cold time to go to Winnipeg this time of year in Canada. As they say in San Antonio, super frio. But it's growing and it's going, and that will ramp up to really show our HPC in a year from now, the numbers should be substantially different than what we've been able to show. Last year they doubled, and this year we're expecting a multiple factor of that.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that. Frank, thanks so much. Good to catch up with you again, and we'll talk soon.
Always stay strong.
Frank Holmes, the executive chairman of Hive Digital Technologies.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.